anyway, I just was looking around my apartment and I felt so claustrophobic. And I love my little space. I love my apartment. I love that it's a little studio and that I've maximized it the best I can. But like every time that I want to teach a yoga class or sit down at my desk and do some writing, it just feels like there's just a lot of stuff in the way, right? It just felt like there was just too much shit in the way. And I'd had my furniture exactly the way that it had always been for the last 4 years because it just seemed like the right way to be. I'd read all these books on feng shui, and this was the way that was like, your bed should go here and your desk should go there, and like all the little corners of the room. And I like really like used my own little analytical mind for like 4 years ago when I moved in to make the apartment by the book, good feng shui. But it still didn't feel like good feng shui. It still felt like the energy just wasn't open and moving through, probably because I've been stuck in it for the last 2 weeks. But I was like, you know what? As much as I clean this place, it always feels cluttered. So I've tried the whole decluttering thing. I've done the whole Marie Kondo thing where I went through everything that didn't inspire joy and I donated it. I went through all my paperwork and I still felt like I would always get stuck and I would get emotional and I would get triggered into an anxiety attack. This was a year ago. So I stopped doing that. Not because I missed any of the things, but it was just like so many memories coming up and like stuck in here. And I just haven't felt as productive as I normally do when I'm by myself, as I have when I was like starting a company from a hammock in Colombia. Like I ran a whole company for 9 months without having an office, without having a room, just having a hammock hanging up in the forest. And I'm like, how is it so much easier then? And so anyway, so I just like looked around, and in my frustration, I just started moving shit around. I moved the desk away from the window. I moved the bed at the window. This is all stuff that's like very like not feng shui and not according to the book, right? But immediately, like all these little adjustments that I thought were gonna take so long to do, and I was feeling so lazy over the last year to do them, they were actually it only took like 15 minutes. And then putting everything away and sweeping and dusting took maybe another 15 minutes. It took me 30 minutes, that's it. 30 minutes to create this huge space in my apartment that now I love being here. Now I feel like I can sit here. Like last night, I didn't turn on the television. I was just listening to classical music. I read some stories from the Shivaya, which is a yearly celebration that tells all the stories of Shiva. And I was just able to connect to them so much deeper. And I only read like a couple chapters because it's pretty deep philosophy stuff. That being someone that has been felt a connection with Shiva for the last 10, 12 years, that it really like affected me. And so I put the book down, and then I just laid here and I looked into this big space over here that I've created for filming instructional videos, for filming some hula hoop videos, for actually having a nice big space for my paintings when I want to sit down and paint, that I don't feel cluttered anymore. Now, this is the thing. I didn't throw anything away other than like old receipts and old bills and stuff like that I don't need anymore. I didn't necessarily have to go and do a deep cleaning of anything. All I had to do was look at what I had, rearrange it a little bit, like find different compartments in it, and then just kind of put it where it felt better, where I felt better for the space that I needed. Just looking at what do I need in order to create what I want. I need a big open space. So how can I rearrange this stuff, the stuff that I already have, in order to be able to do that? without following any rules, without following any guidelines, just how am I going to do that? And then when I did, I now have the space that I want and I need. I stopped beating myself up for living in a small apartment, even though I'm like 36, all the typical like self-hating stuff. I only rearranged a little bit of the artwork, and I was able to create exactly the space, the new space that I needed in order to suddenly have all these spontaneous bursts of energy. Like I spent 3 hours yesterday rearranging camera angles and writing down mission statements and writing down a list of all the videos that I want to do. So why am I talking about that for a morning meditation, right? Like, cool, Jasmine, you rearrange your furniture. Talking about it because the day before I was reading something from Lao Tzu, when one of his students had asked him, so what do I do while I'm in self-isolation? He was referring to meditation, like kind of like the Vipassana style, where you voluntarily go and isolate yourself to sit in contemplative meditation for long periods. And Lao Tzu wrote lists of things to do. And it's all about, okay, take the time to clean your house, remove all the remove dead plants, remove the dead leaves from your dead plants that are suffocating it, remove any items that you're no longer using, move items around that don't feel like they're energetically in the right space. And I wasn't thinking about this when I rearranged furniture yesterday. And as you're doing it, make it your meditation. Know that as you're doing these things, as you're making these changes, as you're cleaning, as you're taking care of a plant, as you're creating space in your own home, this is representative of the home of your body. Because believe it or not, we are not our bodies. Our bodies are our lifetime home for the awareness and the consciousness that we actually are. We're not our thoughts. Those are all like the decorations, the furniture, the tools, right? Those are the items that we have in order to make our home a better place. We're not our muscles. We're not the way our body looks even. That's all stuff that's just like, either it's conditioning based off of habits, the way our body looks, or it's genetics. So our home is a representative of our body. And the way that we use our home, the way that we take care of our home, is a representative of how we take care of ourselves. And I was writing to a friend about it, like I was just laying in my bed for like an hour, enjoying my little star, little lights over here, the way that the television screen reflects a blue light. It's no longer shining directly in my bed, so I'm not even tempted to turn it on anymore. It's no longer shining in my bed, but I use it to play music, so it's playing this really blue light, and I've got the white light, my candle light, and the nice breeze. I'm like, wow, this is how my mind feels after really, really nice meditation. And by nice meditation, I mean one where like a lot of shit broke down, including myself. I might have ended up crying, but then I broke through and found clarity. I was finding so much clarity in this moment, like deep spiritual insights about what COVID-19 means for me. Given up on trying to figure out what COVID-19 means for everybody else. It's going to mean something different for every single person. We're all individuals. But what it means for me is I'm essentially not living my life any differently, as far as I'm still learning new things. I'm still teaching as often as possible. I'm still dedicated to my practices. I'm still doing my best to get through and get by. And I'm still actively participating in my own evolution. But I actually have a lot less stress because the whole life rat race has gotten out of my way. And this big awakening that I felt was coming for me in 2020 and this big up and coming that I thought was coming for me in 2020, there's not a single part of me that thinks that this pandemic, this new detour in our lives, has put a stop to it. That, oh, you were wrong about your intuition, Jasmine. Like, there you go again. Thinking that the world is your oyster when really, no. Like, that's old Jasmine. That's what she would have thought. But I'm actually looking at it as like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed, was this space. Not only the space in my apartment, not only the space in my mind, because I've been so dedicated to, for the last year, of like shifting around all my thoughts, changing my perceptions on relationships, my perceptions on friendships, my perceptions on work, my perceptions on money, my perceptions on how I relate to all of those things. And like letting go of all of the rules, like, you know, anything about my personal life, you know, I've definitely let go of the rules, and just allowing things to flow, allowing things to be as they are, and I'm holding space for myself. And now I'm letting go of all of the rules of what it is that I need in order to be successful in my career. My career to inspire others, to bring joy to others. And all I needed was the time to not feel like I needed to be racing around all the time. Now I can work from home. Now I can write from home. Now all the places and the people and the things that used to distract me from just focusing, the things that are now completely out of my control, that have constantly kind of been like, oh, this needs to be prioritized, this needs to be prioritized. It's so out of my control that I'm going, okay, fine. I'm done trying to control how my income comes to me. I'm done trying to control who it is I'm going to meet day in and day out. I'm done trying to control how it is that I'm going to spend my moments here and there. And I'm being given all of this time exactly what I need financially, and exactly what I need in my relationships and my friendships in order to elevate myself. And in this big open platform with all of you all, which, yeah, there's only one person on now, but I just have a feeling that eventually more and more people are gonna see something here, and they're gonna want to get involved as soon as everyone adjusts. And I'm happy. I'm very content. But it requires me to be radically vulnerable. Not just radically vulnerable to the people in my life. That's actually pretty easy for me. Radically vulnerable to other people is pretty, I'm an open book. Most people know that. But radically vulnerable to myself, like really ask myself, is it really about you not having enough time now that you don't want to do this thing? Is it really about all of the excuses that I'm making? Or maybe this thing that you thought you wanted to do isn't actually what you wanted to do, Jasmine. And actually having to ask myself that, and then ask myself why. We're getting all of this time for ourselves. So much time for ourselves. And we need to ask ourselves the resistance that we feel towards it. Why is that resistance there? Is the resistance there because we really need to get back to work? We really need, you know, more than what we really have. We really need to give someone a hug? Or is the resistance because it's really a challenge for us to sit down and just be with ourselves, to enjoy your own company, to remember all those things that you really love, and to face the fact that we've let them go for so many years. To face the guilt, to face the compromises that we've made to our own soul. Because now in all this space, now it's like, hey, there's no excuse for not playing the guitar. Hey, there's no excuse for not finishing that painting. There's no excuse for not calling your mother. What's the real reason that you're not doing that? What is the resistance? And we don't have, the constant flow of interactions and energies around us navigating for us where we're going, what we're doing, and why we're here in this ocean of chaos, right? We're being told navigate this on your own, but don't worry, you can start small. Just start in the comfort of your own home. You're all in for this really, really big shift. You're all in for this huge awakening that's coming up, a new dawn. And because it's a lot to navigate, just do it in the privacy of your home. Start small. Me, starting in this tiny little 600 square foot apartment. It's probably not even square foot. I think it's probably only like 480, but it looks like 600 square foot to me right now. Start small, and then the tools that we learn here, the tools that we learn just by simply doing what we love, doing the things that inspire us joy, the things that are easy for us to keep doing without needing to be paid, the things that are easy for us to keep doing without needing to share it with the world, the things that are easy to keep doing just because we love doing it. We've got an opportunity to really harness those from talents or from passions into talents into skills. So today in our meditation, we're going to clear the room a little bit. We're going to clear the clutter. Now, clearing the clutter means you got to acknowledge the clutter's there. Just like when you clean your house, right? You got to look around and be like, okay, yeah, that's clutter. Yep, that's clutter. Yep, that's clutter. And actively decide if that's something that you still want in the room of your mind, so that you can leave this wide open space for your spontaneous, divine creativity to start showing you again who you really are, so you can get reacquainted with who you really are. Now, there's the who you really are of awareness, but then there's the who you really are of who you were born in this life to be. The inner child, the one that has been muted, the one that has been made to feel unworthy of sharing their gifts and loveliness with the world. So, long talk, but I'm so glad to have you to share it with, and to be able to share this on multiple different platforms. So when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes, sitting up straight and tall. And all you have to do in this meditation, all I'm asking you to do is just to listen. This is purely a listening meditation. If I give an instruction that doesn't make sense to you, that instruction wasn't intended for you. So don't try to figure out, oh, I don't know how to do that. That's okay. Just keep listening. By settling into the state of listening, that attentive awareness, a lot of the clutter clears itself. That's the good thing. That's a powerful thing. So in order to train the ear to really listen, first soften the jaw, keep your mouth sealed, and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. With your eyes still closed, turn your gaze to the back of your eyelids. And just look into this empty space behind the eyelids. It's called the Chittakash. Space that appears to be infinitely wide and deep, infinitely tall and long. And just for this moment, imagine this space completely surrounding your whole body. All of your awareness completely encompassed by this empty space of the Chittakash. This space is the natural state of our unconditioned, undisturbed mind. And it's very normal in this space for there to be thoughts and images and memories to arise, because the mind has been conditioned, the mind has been influenced, the mind is saturated with what's called samskaras. These are impressions left from our past that, when mixed all together, create also expectation and desire, our usual thought patterns. So that's okay. When you realize during this meditation that those things are occurring, that it's no longer empty space, don't try to fight it. Don't be hard on yourself. There's no need to judge yourself for something that is a natural biochemical reaction of the brain, of the conditioning of the mind and memories. Instead, revert your attention back to the empty space. Just clears it out. Now bring your attention to your sense of hearing, your awareness. Keep on looking into the empty space of the Chittakash. And bring your awareness to your sense of hearing. Begin to listen out of your right ear only. Just listening to all the different sounds only out of the right ear. There'll still be some phenomena happening in the left side, but your awareness is on the right side. Your attention. And then shift your attention over to the left. Now listening out of both ears. Keep on looking into the back of your eyelids. And as you listen to the world around you, rather than telling a story around each sound, trying to identify the sound, visualizing or picturing the sound in this empty space, keep your attention looking into the Chittakash, into this emptiness, and just observe the sounds in their quality, in their frequency, allowing each one to pass through your awareness without holding on to any sound, without resisting any other sound. And begin to seek out the most distant sound that you can hear. Moving your awareness from one sound to the next. Then bring your awareness closer to the sounds occurring right here in this room, in your room. Seeking out now the most subtle sound. Then take the awareness even closer to the sounds of your own body, sound of your heartbeat, the sound of your breath, and now direct your awareness of sound and listen into the space of the Chittakash, into the space behind the eyelids. Listening to your own thoughts. The residual messages, echoes of the past. Knowing that any thoughts about the future are a culmination of all past thoughts trying to predict an unpredictable future reality. Trying to mesh up a bunch of different patterns from the past to predict a future reality. So if your thoughts are shifting towards the future, bring your awareness back to the present and listen. Listen and notice what past memories start to arise. Notice what past thoughts guided you into the creation of that future reality that does not have to be true. And then bring the attention back to the present moment, listening into this field of possibility of the present moment, into the space behind the eyelids. Noticing the thoughts without judging them. There's no such thing as a wrong thought or a right thought. They're just thoughts. They are not who you are. And then returning to the space behind the eyelids. Noticing the emotions, the body sensation of emotion, without attempting to label the emotion. Now in this space behind the eyelids, for us to more securely anchor our awareness into the present moment, bring your gaze upwards and inwards to your eyebrow center. And visualize a single candle flame. Visualize this single candle flame and begin to mentally chant Om Nama Shivaya. If you have a mala to use for meditation purposes, you can use your mala to count. If you know how to use your knuckles to count 108 times, you can do that. And you can start off at a slight whisper. If the mind feels really messy and you're not able to concentrate on the continuous repetition of Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, you can start off doing it audibly. That creating that external vibration allows the attention to pull away from the external distractions and internal to the sound of your own internal voice. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Bringing it down to a whisper. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Till eventually you remove all audio sound. So just the mouth is moving. And sealing the mouth. And when the thoughts wander, images and memories arise, emotions come through, attempting to divert your attention away, don't be judgmental of that experience. It's normal. It's what the body is used to doing. It's what makes the body think that it's comfortable. Old patterns, old rituals, what the body thinks is comfortable, what is familiar. Just gently, compassionately draw the awareness away from whatever thought arises and guide it back to the place behind the eyelids. Candle flame at the eyebrow center. Just aware that it's there. You don't have to actually visually see it. And then mentally, or even out loud, coming back to chanting, repeating, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. As you finish, If you're not using a mala, you're not using your knuckles, then just bring your hands together at heart center. Turning the corners of the mouth to the hint of a smile. Noticing the new state of the mind. This fresh, almost empty awareness that somehow was there the whole time. We just needed to shift some things around. To find new purpose for thought, for intention, for attention. And after the next inhale, let's close together with one Om, taking a deep breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you so very much. If anyone has any questions about the stories of Shiva that I'm reading, I'm teaching classes on them every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, where I'm teaching you a long mantra, the healing mantra, Mahamrityunjaya mantra, it's a healing mantra, to help us all heal through this, whether or not you have the virus or not. There's another virus that we all have, which is the virus of fear. So to help us all with that. And if you have any desire to donate to the Kiki and Me Fund, then Venmo is posted on my profile. And otherwise, I'm teaching two yoga classes today. No, my 9 a.m. is a private. At 11:15 or 11:30, I'm teaching yoga for athletes. So that's going to be like you can get your sweat on a lot. I had some male students of mine ask me, like, give us a real workout. I'm like, okay, like what I teach isn't already, but that's fine. But yeah, there'll be some pretty intense things. And then yoga for runners is on Monday, and power yoga tomorrow, just regular old power yoga class tomorrow at Green Monkey's website. So y'all have a very good day, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m.